Hello, and welcome to Ask the Expert, a space for relaxed, unscripted conversations with bold women who are making an impact. If you are new to my channel, I am the Michelle Olivia. I am a transformational life and health coach who is passionate about helping women to step out of the shadows and into their ideal life. A life filled with peace, passion, and purpose every damn day. In each episode of Ask the Expert, I sit down with incredible women and talk about life, leadership, personal growth, and those real stories behind their success. No scripts, no rehearsed answers, just honest conversation, and we're going to get started. My guest today is Christina Kimbrough. Kimbrough. She's the founder of Free Life. Christina, welcome to Ask the Expert.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I love doing stuff like this.
Hey, before we get started, I do want you to take a quick moment to share with our viewers a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what you're currently excited about right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So, as you said, I'm the founder of Free Life LLC. I'm 6 years sober from an addiction to alcohol. And in that time, I just found it was really hard to find elevated third spaces or events that didn't center alcohol, that weren't recovery based. And so, about 3 years ago, I went on a search to find these things. I couldn't find it, to be honest. Even wellness events had like alcohol, like yoga had alcohol, run clubs, and so I was like, well, I don't love this. And I also like needed friends. I got sober during the pandemic, lost some friends due to the struggle with an addiction. And so I was like, I really don't know what to do here. And I found a meetup app, or on the meetup app, something just for people that don't drink. It was a meetup. I went to Cafe Stella, and we're located in Norfolk, Virginia. And there was like six of us there. Two friends of mine started it. And from there, that was like 2023, it really grew organically. So it, 50 people, 100 people, 500 at some point. And we're like, what is this? So we kept doing events, yoga, cold plunge, walks, all kinds of fun stuff. And then someone from that community said, hey, I have an event coming up. Could you do a mobile bar, but all non-alcoholic? And I was like, "What? That's a great idea. Sure. Didn't have the mobile bar, didn't have any of that, but I bootstrapped my way there, won a local pitch competition, and then did a big Pride Fest here and got my first round of like real revenue. And it was off to the races from there. So we're a social enterprise. So meaning I do social good with my business. I do community for people that don't drink. And then the business side is a non-alcoholic mobile bar. And then I wholesale non-alcoholic beverages to the Chrysler Museum, coffee shops around here, and restaurants. And then also direct to consumer. It's been a whirlwind. The non-alcoholic industry is just popping off right now. It's something like 54% of Americans aren't drinking. Um, the most since prohibition, but it's obviously not rooted in fear or a lack of. Like I started sharing my story online about how sobriety changed my life. And so now what we see is a lot of people, especially younger people, they still want to go out, they want to party, they want to have fun, but they also don't want like a Diet Coke. I mean, I do love a good Diet Coke, don't get me wrong. And so since then, it has just been the craziest ride of my life. I absolutely love it. And I'm just like hanging on for dear life, like figuring things out as I go. And what am I excited about? I think just the growth of my company, the growth of my personal brand, the growth of the community. I, I think the world feels really heavy right now, for so many different reasons. And this space is so positive to me, right? Because it's so hard. I feel like everywhere you go, things feel negative. But my industry is just so beautiful. I mean, it's not all perfect and rainbows and sunshine, but really it's filled with a lot of women founders who really care about the community. And I just also love seeing people choose better for themselves. I always see this. I'm not anti-alcohol. You'll never find me saying, don't drink, you can't drink. That's never my message. But I think when we choose to be present and not use alcohol to numb out or any substance, we really do get to live a free life. That's where the name comes from. And so I'm just excited to see people choose better for themselves.
I think that is absolutely awesome. And I have enjoyed watching your journey. When I was in the Hampton Roads area, and for those of you that are, please check out Free Life. I am a consumer. However, I like to switch up. So if you are someone who's like, oh no, I'm not for that, give it a try. Then she has some of the best products and her events are amazing. So are you ready to dive into Q&A
I'm
time?
ready. Let's do
All
it.
right, let's talk personal growth, the things that shape who we become. Your question is, to get you started, what does becoming your best self really require for you?
Hmm. Um, Two things, honesty and accountability. So growth doesn't happen. Oh, I know I'm gonna add a third, and self-compassion. So I think like personal growth, being in recovery, it's so interesting. I sometimes I wonder if I'm grateful for the struggle with an addiction. I'm still, not that I have to be, but I'm still working through that because being in recovery has helped me grow, as you would imagine, in so many ways because I can hold the duality of like, I did some really bad things when I was in active addiction, and I'm also an incredible human, right? And so often I think like personal growth, we think there's all or nothing, but it's all complicated, right? And so what personal growth has still looks like for me today is self-compassion. So like, and then that accountability of holding myself accountable for when I do and say things that aren't in alignment with who I am, but not from a shame or fear-based place. And I learned that in recovery because you have to really sit with some of the things that have happened or that you've done. And that's not easy. But the term self-compassion Kristen Neff's work, if anyone's interested, was life-changing for me on this. So it's like being able to say, hey, I did this, and I'm not going to hate or shame myself for it, but how do I change while also being kind to myself?
I love that. Self-compassion. I love that one. I want to dive into business and leadership, those decisions and risks and responsibilities. How do you measure success beyond money?
I love this because I'm constantly struggling with that because I think in the business world, it's easy. I mean, really, in the real business world, and I'm in it, we do. It's you hit a milestone, and it's always like, well, what's next? How much are you going to make next? But I'm a very impact driven business. I always have been. I started with people, and so my heart and soul is to really improve how we bring people together, right? And so it's moved beyond just like bringing people together without alcohol, but a lot of my work now is focused on social health because it's just a natural thing that progresses and happens is after COVID, we lost a lot of our social skills, right? And so we're seeing loneliness was at 50% before COVID. It's higher now. So people are reporting higher levels of loneliness and disconnection. And so I'm fascinated and working to make that impact and make it easier for people to connect. And also showing them like you're enough as you are. You don't need a substance. And it's also like I normalize it's okay for things to be awkward. Like it's okay if you say something, you're human. Like, right. So lowering those stakes. And so for me, it would be its impact, right? So even if I get one person who comes to an event where they have severe social anxiety, but they walk away with the skills to know how to talk to someone or a new friend, that's really where I'm, yeah, deriving and measuring my success.
I'm going to write that note. It's okay to be human. I think we forget sometimes. Let's
Absolutely.
let's make a little shift into some life lessons, the truths that life reveals to us over time. What is a simple life lesson that changed everything for you?
A simple life lesson. I mean, it's not sexy, but like consistency is really the root of all good things. I think that a lot of people ask, like, how have you scaled? How are you doing it? And I'm like, I don't know if it's okay to curse, but I show the fuck up every day. Like, I just, I'm tired most of the time. A lot of times I don't know what I'm doing, but I consistently show up. And it's the same thing for friendships, a marriage, working out, eating healthy. It's very unsexy, but I don't believe in a quick path to like anything good, right? I'm not saying it should be hard all the time, and it's not. I have great moments, but consistency is at the root of most good things.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
For relationships, and I'm not sure where you're at right now with relationships, but I would like talking about relationships because it's the people along our journey that has impacted us. So what relationship would you say has shaped you the most?
Yeah, I'm married happily of 10 years, been together like 14, military spouse. And my husband changed my life. I didn't want to get sober, and my story's a little bit different. Some people say you have to get sober for yourself, but I didn't want to. I didn't have it in me. I dealt with mental health issues, and I just didn't want to exist at one point. But I did love my husband enough to stay. And so my husband just is the backbone and just holds that space for me, gave me that space to get sober and loved me when I couldn't, and obviously it's my responsibility now, like, and I take care of myself, but like, he really is that rock. Saved my life. That relationship saved my life.
Oh, and what's his name?
Clayton.
Clayton.
Yeah.
Thanks, Clayton. When you
Yeah.
watch
Thank
this,
you. Thank you.
shout out to Clayton.
Yeah. Seriously.
Let's look fun. Maybe the lighter side of
Yeah.
Christina. What
Yeah.
does the perfect day look like to you?
Oh, I love that. If I'm not working, which is rare these days, definitely good coffee early in the morning. I know I'm a beverage person, obviously. Oh yeah, right. I really do. I love beverages. So like slow morning, being able to meditate. I know that sounds, I really do. I love to meditate and then read and like not, and just time. I really am a deep thinker. I like to read and write. And so I have ADHD, so I'm always reading like six different books. So just like time to read a book, put it down, get up. And then probably movement of some kind outside with a friend. Like I love to run, I love to walk. I do love people, so probably with a friend that fills my cup, that kind of thing.
Yes, that sounds like a great day. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's hear a little bit about your reflections, your perspective from where you are now. What
Mm,
story from your life do you tell most often?
mm. Probably, definitely the sobriety story, the recovery story, even if I didn't have my business free life, like, struggling with addiction is obviously quite hard. And so I am in recovery from mental health and addiction. And so I think for me, there's just always a before and after. I think all of us have those defining moments in life, right? Where something happens or we make a change. And so mine would be February 6th, 2020, when I made the decision, I had my last drink. Um, I find myself referencing that because that's just when I chose myself and I was finally able to like get the help that I need and make those changes.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing so openly. It really,
Yeah,
it's going to touch the person it's meant to touch, and I love it.
thank
Let's
you.
talk lastly, turning points, the
Yeah,
moments that have changed everything.
yeah.
What turning point are you most grateful for?
Man, um, probably it wasn't the day that I got sober, but the night that I decided I needed help. It was still 2020, probably January. I'd stayed out all night because my drinking was just progressing. And, my husband, it was like the morning of, and I'd stayed out all night, and my husband was like, I can't do this anymore. And he didn't threaten divorce, but it was just like the moment where I could see how much my addiction was really hurting him. Like it was beyond me at that point. Because when you're in active addiction, it's not selfish. Like you're just so wrapped up and you're caught up in the chaos of struggle that you don't often see how you're hurting people. But that morning, for whatever reason, my husband was just done. Like he couldn't do it anymore. And so I walked in the house that day and I was like, all right, well, what does help look like? And, where do we find it? And so I moved home to Cleveland, Ohio, which is where I'm from, to get help. I moved in with my grandma. I made plans to move in with my grandma, who's one of those amazing humans who had like one drink and had a bad hangover and hated it, and so she was just a healthy, safe space for me to heal. And making that decision was hard. I had to quit a good job that I had just gotten, but I had been running for so long from my problems, and I had to come face to face with like, no, girl, like you got some stuff to figure out here. So that was definitely a huge turning point.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Before we close out, I just want all of you that are watching to know in the bio, in the comments description, you're going to have all of Christina's links. Please follow her. If you're in the Hampton Roads area, come out to one of the events. It could be life changing for you. As always on Ask the Expert, I like to close with my bonus question. And you may know my life's mission is built around peace, passion, and purpose. What does living with peace, passion, and purpose mean to you right now?
Oh, I love that so much. I would say, I mean, I try to embody that too. I will say, I don't know that I believe in balance, right? Because it's like, especially an entrepreneur, it's hard. So I don't know that I can embody all three at one time. But I am definitely trying to build a business and a life that prioritizes peace, right? And I think for me, my meditation practice helps that because peace can look different. So I think a lot of people think of peace like, oh, it's all going to go well and everything's good. That's not peace to me. I think peace is being able to stay grounded and peaceful in the hard. Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
so my meditation has practice and mindfulness, I work really hard on that, has changed my life. And so I would say I am peaceful most days, even when things are going wrong. And I will tell you, owning a small business, it there's always something wrong. Like there's always something. I'm a military spouse. It's like there are always these moving parts, but I've learned like the term equanimity, it is too as well. It's like being present. I'm like in the moment, even when things are hard. So, and then my whole life is purpose. I mean, my whole purpose is to help people gather well without alcohol. So,
Love it, love it, love it. Well, Christina, thank you so much for being with us today on this episode of Ask the Expert. It has been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you again when I pop into the Hampton Roads area. For those of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, keep on living with peace, passion, and purpose every damn day. Mwah. Bye,
love
guys.
it.